Hello, man. Hello, man. I just had to come back on for a short because I seen the local news. Wait till my sound check starts. I just had to come back on for a short because I seen the local. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's great. I just had to come back on for a short. We're going to make it release the incels. Release the incels. Yeah, we've had two incidents this week already of incels, mass murders. Elliot Rogers. I'm going to put another one up for you, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to look at it. First, I'm going to talk about men. I hear a lot of garbage around Mgtow. Meninist. You have to be for men and everything. Hey, men aren't all that great. Who are the enemy of men? I would ask myself. Well, the enemy of men are other men. And we got names for them around Mgtow. It's one of the qualities in Mgtow that we sweep our own side of the street in Mgtow. We're not taking everybody. We're not taking simps, white knights, beggars, cackling hyenas, and the worst of the worst, married men or men in love. We don't want them in our group. We don't want them around because we know one thing. Simps, white knights, beggars, cackling hyenas, and them kind of men can do awful acts of violence. Awful acts of violence. And I'm going to show you an article. We're going to do a little screen share here. Like I said, twice this week. And there is Affinity Screen. We're going to go to 5 dead in Louisiana. Let me see how that looks for you. I can increase that clear plus if I wanted to. Let me see if I can increase that. Yeah, I think I can increase that. Clear plus, 5 dead in parish in Louisiana. Suspect's been identified. There's a young man now. There's the incel right there. Authorities searching for 21-year-old man responsible for a shooting spree across neighborhood in parishes, across 2 neighborhoods in the parishes, and left 5 people dead. Detectives are looking for Dakota Theriot, who is wanted for first-degree murder, illegal use of a weapon, which I would question illegal use of a weapon, which is kind of after you murdered someone, that really doesn't matter, and a home invasion. Authorities believe that he's driving a 2004 Dodge pickup Ram. There's this Dodge pickup Ram. They give his license plate number, and he says he's heading toward Mississippi, and he's armed and dangerous. What happened here? About 9 o'clock, deputies in Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office sent to a trailer park. Of course, it's a trailer park. Courtney Road and Arnold and North Corbin Road. Homicide investigators learned that 3 people were dead inside. First of all, when I first looked at it, they wouldn't admit that there was 3 people. They left the 3rd person out because they know what happened here. Livingston Parish Office. Billy Ernest, 43, which is probably the father, Tanner Ernest, 17, and Summer Ernest, 20, were killed in the shooting. Authorities believe this is a boyfriend-girlfriend type dispute. A boyfriend-girlfriend. There he is, the simp, the white knight, the beggar, the blue pill guy. He's in love. He's going to get married. He wants all that stuff for himself. And when that ends, he's willing to kill the world. Shortly after a report on Ascension Parish, the investigators shooting in a residence nearby in Church Road and Gutierrez Road in Gonzales, which 1 person was killed, and everyone was critically in critical condition. There was 2 people shot. Every one of them were in critical condition. Authorities provided an update just for 2 p.m. That the person is in a person. The shooting victim was identified as 50-year-old Elizabeth Theriot and her husband, 50-year-old Keith Theriot. Authorities in Ascension confirmed that the Theriots are the parents of that young man up there, and they confirmed that he was the gunman that killed he killed his parents while they were sleeping in their bedroom, authorities said. Now, authorities said that 2 shootings are connected. You can go back up to see it was a boyfriend girlfriend thing right there. Boy, and the name of Summer Ernest. He looks to be he's 21, she's 20. That's her father, that's her brother. He went home and he killed his mother and his father. He killed the father of his girlfriend. He killed the brother of his girlfriend, and he killed the girlfriend. For what reason? Well, we all know the reason. We all know the reason. Now I'm going to stop sharing this so we can get back from the horror of this. There he is. And we can get back from the horror of this thing and talk about what really happened here. The enemy of men. Who is the enemy of men? And I've been learning a lot of this when I first came in Mgtow around here. I was like, oh man, we all got to be, all us men are got to band up and group up, and we got to be this super group, and then we'll stop. All these things are going to stop happening and everything. No, Mgtow takes accountability for its own actions. Mgtow is one of the few organizations that clean our own side of the street. Hence, we have language in here, and hence our language is sometimes shaming language. We have simps, we have white knights, we have beggars, we have cackling hyenas around here, and we have the worst of the worst of the worst of them all. That's a man in love. That's a man that is addicted. Chemicals are going through his head 10 times more addicting than heroin is going through his head, and he's in a relationship and he's in love, and he will protect that at any cost. And that means he will kill every man around him. And today we've seen a great example. Earlier this week we've seen there must have been a half a dozen of these incel shootings, and I'll call them incels because that's what they are. They're young men that have no control over their biology. And we get that in here too. You can look around at Mgtow. You can look around at Mgtow and you see the men, oh, she won't kiss me, complaining. It's like, man, you're such a simp. Talking about, it's like, I'm just going to go. And then they go into the rage, and then they go into the hate sex. I'm just going to have hate sex with them all. And then they finally, after about 5 or 6 years, they learn to grow up. And but we have to deal with it around here. And I consider none of them Mgtows, because there's one thing you got to know about males. You got to know when that chemicals in their brain start pumping and that heart starts going, they will kill everything around them for that. The simps, the white knights, the cackling hyenas, the beggars. So who is the enemy of men? Well, the enemy of men is man itself. I wouldn't call them either. I wouldn't call any one of them. And you can spot them. They're so easily spotted. We have several of them around here. Some of them are married. Some of them are trying to convince you it's okay to get married. And some of them are sitting in their men caves right now, whining, boo-hoo, my wife is leaving me. She won't let me touch her. She won't let me touch the split V. Boo-hoo. Man, separate yourself from that stuff. That stuff is addicting. We get saturated daily from the time you're this big, from the time you're knee high to me, with all these things to say, go out there, go get a girlfriend, and this young man here is a result of all that saturation, that over-estrogenation. He grabs a gun. He doesn't just kill her. He kills her father. He kills her brother. He goes home in a fit of rage and kills his parents. How addicting is that? How demented do you have to be? What is the worst kind of person on this world? Yes, it is a male in love. Don't even go by these people. Most of you guys know if you see some of them fighting, you run for your life, because he will include you in that carnage and death. You never step in between them. And that's probably what these parents tried to do. They probably tried to step in between these two fighting and arguing, and that horrible, horrible simping, and that horrible, horrible thing that you see. and a lot of people ended up dead. Who is the enemy of man? Who is the enemy of man, men? It's the simp. It's the white knight. It's the beggar. It's the cackling hyena. Now, somewhere out there was some guy that was hitting that caused all this stuff and caused 5 people to be dead now. And he's probably giggling like a little PUA. And he probably deserves to be shot in this thing. But no, no, no. Simps are the worst. Simps are violent. Incels are violent. Anytime you see an incel around here, you just think in a real world, that man is capable of doing anything. He's hooked. He's on drugs. And those drugs are running through his brain. The incels are crazy about this. They're the most likely. Look at these guys. Look at these 2 incidences in the last week. Both of them were incels. Release the incels. Give them guns. Lately, I've been forced to reassess my values in Mgtow, reassess a lot of things about Mgtow. I used to be one of those men that is, oh, men, all men are great. No, all men are not great. We have names for these men, and that's a good 70% of this society out here would hurt you, would harm you if you got in between him and his girl. A lot of them would kill you. That's sad. That's a sickness. That's an illness that permeates our country. And we've seen it all. I've seen it all my life. I've seen it all my life. Until you get to the point where you remove yourself from this garbage, you get your emotions, you get all that under control, you get all that bacteria out of your head that's clogging up your thinking. Take a little walnut oil. If I was around that kid, I would have slipped some walnut oil and some wormwood into his Pepsi every day. Yeah, they're soy boys. I don't know what you call them. I'll call them simps and incels, because every time I look around Mgtow and I see these soy boy simp incels and they're acting like that, and I used to watch them. I used to live in an apartment center, and I used to have a horseshoe apartment center where there's 130 apartments, and it all went in a horseshoe. And every Friday night, me and my buddy would sit out and we put a 6-pack down, we'd crack, and we go right around 7 to 8 o'clock, 9 to 10, 11, we would sit there, have a few beers, and we watched the simps come home and watch them fight with their girlfriends. And we used to laugh. We used to laugh. And, well, here he comes again. He's going to get arrested for the 3rd time this year. Oh, man. I got to tell you, when I see stories like this, when I see stories about the young man going on, he killed his parents. He killed the parents of his girlfriend. You know who he didn't kill? He didn't kill the guy that was, he didn't kill the guy. He couldn't catch up with that guy. He didn't kill the guy that was hitting his girlfriend. And he did kill his girlfriend. But it's too late now. It's too late now. That's all that emotional garbage. Well, why Mgtow? Why Mgtow? So these guys don't end up like that guy. You don't want to be that guy. Sipping ain't easy. You don't want to be that guy. Hello, Alan. Hello, Rain. Dudes refuse to take responsibility for their lives and blame everybody else. Who could consider? I would consider them. And yeah, Dwayne, they're incels. And we got to call them out around here. There's a lot of incels in Mgtow. Mgtow is being permeated with married guys and simps and white knights. These are the guys that would hurt you. These are the guys. I told you the story a long time ago. I started looking at this thing collectively and very pragmatically. The day my wife left me, she says, she told me, it's none of your business what I do with my body. And it was a lesson to me in my life. And I thought at that point, that's freaking genius, because it's none of your business what I do for the rest of my life, and it's none of nobody's business what I do for the rest of my life. And as soon as you get that attitude in Mgtow, as you start displaying that, your life's going to get a lot easier. Your life's going to get a lot easier because you're not acting like that simp. And I see them every day. Every day I go to the store and I see them fighting. I see them arguing. I see them simping. I see men on their knees. And it's all that chemical in their head making them act delusional. That's oxytocin making them act delusional. It's parasitical bacteria reaching their brain. Man, it is so disgusting. And then we get them coming around here attacking us. They want to take over Mgtow. They want to make Mgtow PUA and dating advice place. It's crazy. They're crazy. They're delusional. I have no doubt that 70% of men in this world would kill me over a woman. I have no doubt about that. If I'm slipping in the back door, man, I better be very careful. And any girl you date, any girl you go out with, and especially the single baby mamas, we say don't F the single baby mamas for a reason, because behind that single baby mama is a father trying to be a father, and he might hurt you. If you're kind of low life that is slipping in the back door, you can't be my friend. If you're that low life PUA guy, you can't be my friend because you're part of the problem. And that's why we have Mgtow, for sensible men that want to sensibly handle this problem. But our government gives us no support. People see these men keep killing, they keep wounding themselves, they keep hanging themselves, they keep shooting themselves, they keep going to jail. And we name them. Mgtow takes accountability for our own actions. They say, do that self-introspection. See if you're one of them simps, those white knights, that beggars. See if you have those things in you and get rid of them. Don't be a blue pill mangina. They're the most dangerous people in the whole world. Married men are the most dangerous people in the whole world because they will defend that marriage. They will defend that marriage with violent resolve. And yes, most of us used to be that, but we woke up in our lives. And this is what the government is selling you. This is what the government, the marriage industry is selling you. Violent resolve. Because they're not going to, none of that is going to end up good. You're going to either end up down on your knees or you're going to end up in jail. 48% of society has realized that they want to stay single now for good reasons. They keep themselves away from harm and risk. But we get it every day around here. We get married men, simps. We got Jamies, long distance daters, PUAs, internet daters that think they're dating on the internet. How do you do that? Boy, that's metaphysical pizza to me. Son of a gun. But men, beware. Beware of these simps. They are violent. Incels are violent, and it's getting worse. Incels with guns. Release the incels. But it's our culture that breeds this. It's our schools that breed this. It's toxic masculinity at most. Every time I see a video arguing against toxic masculinity, I'm like, dude, there is such a thing as toxic masculinity. And that's we name them. And get familiar with those names, because you'll be able to label the people. You better keep yourself safe in this world by labeling those people what they are. And that's all I wanted to talk about today. Mgtow's a great program. It keeps you safe. It keeps me safe. And who do we need to be kept safe from? It's not them women. Them are afterthoughts. It's those men that love those women because they will hurt you. I don't even give the women a thought anymore. Don't give them a thought. But that's all I wanted to talk about today, man. And that's it. That's it. Who is the enemy of man? Well, we know who the enemy of man is. We got labels, names. It's in the low bar. Learn them. And that's it, man. Thanks a lot for coming around. This will be a short. It was just, man, when I seen that, I was like, another one. Another one. Killed his parents. Killed his girlfriend's parents. Killed his girlfriend because he couldn't control himself. He had no control over himself. Sad and shameful. It's just sad and shameful. You guys take care, and like always, thanks a lot for being Mgtow. Mgtow. I know I'm safe around yous.